Hello, beautiful people. This is Melinda. And today on Mythic Mel podcast, you will meet the goddess Hekate, also pronounced Hekate. And she came through to speak of the condition that I'm playfully calling pathological harmonizing, which really means people pleasing. Perhaps you've heard of it. Perhaps you have a touch of it yourself. Many of us are or have been in the delirium of this dis-ease at one time or another. It's when we say yes, when everything in our body is saying no, but we've actually been trained or chosen to ignore our beautiful body signals and wisdom and override it with this compulsion to please others and neglect ourselves. So, this is a condition where we make offers to help when we are already overextended ourselves. And what we really need to do is rest and shore up our own energy. Or it's when we create boundaries, but then we constantly make exceptions or excuses for those that we allow to cross or ignore our boundaries just because it feels easier to let them. Does this bring up anything for you? Do you have your own people-pleasing tendencies? Take a deep breath, let it out fully. Goddess Hekate is here to help. Ancient Greek goddess Hecate's truth serum comes into play. Her medicine brings a stop sign to behaviors that you automatically go to do because they've just become easy. And in the end, they keep you, though, from leading a more empowered, high frequency, juicy life where you really are listening to your body and caring for yourself. But you do have to go through some discomforts along the way. And she is there to help us find our way in the dark weeds and discomforts and yeah, there's no better word than discomfort, maybe, of it. But you know that pattern energy of self-abandonment and then self-recrimination. And she's helped me with these tendencies in my life, in my past. And for that, I am very grateful. And I light my candle to her every night. And I wear her around my neck, a gift from a dear friend who understands the darkness and its importance. Any case, Goddess Hekate gives courage to sit in the cringe moments. You know, as you learn to speak up for yourself on your own behalf, or when you just learn even to step back away from habits and impulses to please. It is the goddess Hekate who inspired me to create the somewhat humorous blueprint for a clubhouse that I will share with you at the end of the podcast. And who knows, if I get enough people interested in this clubhouse and Hekate approves of it as a way to delegate my energy, I may set it up. So if you suspect you have this condition to any degree, people pleasing, stay tuned and let me know if you want to join my PH Clubhouse in the show notes or in the comment section. And in the meantime, there's a little more information about this powerful goddess for you. Hekate appears in triple form. There are three faces in one figure, often looking this way, to the side, to the side, to the front. And she's associated with the 3 phases of the moon. She is especially connected to the crone phase of the dark moon. So, when the moon is waxing, it's kind of in the maiden phase, and then it's full, and it's in the mother phase, full, and then it wanes, and it's in the crone phase down to the dark moon. And you have seen Hecate's crown in the tarot cards, the depiction by Pamela Smith of the High Priestess. She wears the triple crown, the triple moon crown of the full moon and the waning and the waxing moons on the side. So the dark moon is where there is a void, there is a release of everything, almost a death, out of which new creation emerges. And so Hecate is connected to the emptiness that precedes renewal. And as I said, she is connected to the 3 phases of a woman's life: mother, maiden, and crone. She alone of all the gods and goddesses of Mount Olympus heard Persephone's cries when she was taken to the underworld by Hades. And she was able to relay this information to Demeter. And the goddess hears your cries when you are suffering and going through dark times. She's associated with past, present, and future. She governs the liminal spaces and the places where the veil is thin. And when you're at a crossroads in life or you don't know what to do, Hecate is there as a guide. But like all guides, you have to ask for help. Our guides want us to ask. They want us to be intentional. We have free will. They're not going to just intervene, but if we ask, they do show up. So you have to summon the goddess Hecate with sincerity and clear intention. Here's a sample script. I'm in confusion, goddess. Help me see in the dark, Hecate. Help me see what is true and make the right choice for me, no matter how difficult. Help me protect my life force energy, my power, for my highest good and the highest good of all those who surround me. Goddess Hecate sees in all directions at once. She has animal companions, faithful black dogs, and golden snakes of wisdom and renewal. She carries a dagger to cut through illusion and banish that which does not serve your true health and happiness. And she wields the torch to light your way when you can't see. Goddess Hecate has a dominion over the big picture of existence. The birth, the life, the transition into the next dimension. In Hesiod's theogony, Hecate is the only goddess who Zeus allows to have sovereignty in all 3 realms: heaven, earth, and the underworld. And with her 3 keys, she unlocks the doors between life and death, between consciousness and unconsciousness. She is magic. She guards doorways, thresholds, boundaries. She's a benevolent guide and a fierce guardian. She offers herself to you. She wants you to please yourself, to know your worth. And this can feel almost wrong for pathological harmonizers or people pleasers. It can feel wrong to value yourself. We haven't practiced it enough. So Hecate in the beginning might feel like bitter medicine to some, but once you acclimate, it is the sweetest ambrosia, and it leads you to the truth of who you are and to what you deserve. You deserve to trust yourself, to love yourself, to understand how your intuition works, to own your energetic space and set the frequency that you desire. You have a right to your timing, to your pacing in life, to your peace, and to your priorities. So, Hecate helped me with all of those things. And healer goddess Hecate asks us to do a pH balance check to see if you have the disorder. And by pH, I mean pathological harmonizing. The first question on Hecate's form for the clubhouse is, what is your pH balance? Do you squirm in discomfort when people don't get along? Do you rush to fix prickly situations so everybody feels better as soon as possible? Does arguing and conflict stress you out? If yes to any of those questions, the goddess Hecate shines her torch on your high pH level. She alerts you to the truth. Change is needed. Your pH balance is out of whack. It's time to get it back into equilibrium. But don't freak out. Baby steps. Let me reiterate. Together with the energy of Goddess Hecate and the muses, I made all this up. But that is life force energy, imagination, creation. And we goddesses dearly love creative acronyms. And again, as I said before, pH does not mean to balance out the level of acidity or alkalinity in your body. That's where pH stands for power of hydrogen. What we mean here is pH as you might be a pathological harmonizer. And if you suspect you are, and you know who you are, don't despair. You have the HP, healing power, and you even have the HPH, the higher power Hecate, to manage your pH levels. But you have to be ready to stand in your truth, to stand by your words, and follow through on some potentially uncomfortable work. There's no magic pill to mask the symptoms of the pathological harmonizer, unless you're already self-medicating in the usual socially acceptable ways, which don't really work long-term. Band-aids are wonderful tools for small fixes, but they don't go far enough to create a new frequency, a new energy pattern for your empowerment. I know that a lot of you pH sufferers have really just accepted your condition. Like it's what you're used to. And maybe you've grown up with it. Maybe you were expected to behave a certain way in the family. Maybe you feel you can't let people down ever. But what if they could be okay if you changed? What if you were okay with changing and you could shift your pH levels and you could feel so much better, so much more aligned to your true self, so much more full of vitality and radiance and joy. And you might be surprised on the other side. You might find people would still love you, even if you didn't show up for their every whim. Or maybe they would respect your boundaries and even be happy for you that you found this goddess power. And if they don't, well, do you really want them in your life in that way? The goddess is there to witness your cries, to walk with you to a higher frequency of associations beyond the threshold and live within a zone that you probably can't even imagine is possible right now. If you're willing to fully surrender to the goddess Hecate, your pH balance can be restored to a beautiful state of serenity no matter what shit is flying around you. Are you in? Do you want to join my clubhouse? The goddess Hekate has stepped into the pathological harmony recovery process. She's been my personal witness and guide. I intimately know the twists and turns of brokering peace in my environment, no matter what the cost. I used to solve problems that are not mine to solve like a champ. I smoothed things over like the silkiest sheet on a bumpy mattress. I pulverized issues between foes. I raced to triage the emotionally distressed. I urgently needed to help people understand each other. I doused my waters on their fires. I carefully pre-planned where folks sat at social gatherings to minimize potential conflict. I hypervigilated. I underperformed. I overbusied. I self-distracted. I made nice. I soothed. I used placating humor. I flattered and avoided people to keep the peace. But the impulse beneath the surface of my unrequested assistance was not to serve their growth and evolution. It was to protect my inner child who wanted harmony, no matter what the cost, to my evolved adult self who has the agency and authority to claim it if I only knew, which I finally did. And Goddess Hekate was always there, holding the torch. And I finally asked her to step in daily to my altar. And at this point, there is a wonderful quote of Anais Nin. It's a writer that I love, French writer. And her quote just flashed into my mind as I was thinking about the goddess Hekate. And she writes, "And the day came when the risk to remain tight in a bud was more painful than the risk it took to blossom. Life is a process of becoming, a combination of states we have to go through. Where people fail is that they wish to elect a state and remain in it. This is a kind of death. Living never wore one out so much as the effort not to live. Life is truly known only to those who suffer, lose, endure adversity, and stumble from defeat to defeat. Perfection is static, and I am in full progress. So trust. If your pH is left untreated, peace is only temporary. Underneath the rainbow Band-Aid, the primary wound still festers. Being a pathological harmonizer is exhausting. It is also wily. This is a sneaky little malady, and it presents itself as good and holy, but it's often just a worried toddler in the energy body whose moon and sun or rising sign is in some feely water sign, wanting to control their parents' fighting in order to feel safe. It might be some kind of a perfectionist, full of a Libra energy, the diplomat, someone who holds an unconscious belief that all conflict is bad. But okay, no matter what your astrological blueprint, those with the pH imbalance often secretly know or think they know that they know what's best for everyone. And you don't realize it at the time. You think you're saving yourself, but really you're sapping your life force energy and you're taking others' power away at the same time. So when you feel the symptoms and the anxiety of pH, pathological harmonizing, coming on, close your eyes. Bring Hekate to mind. She's stepping in. She's at the crossroads. She's holding up her torch and her knife, which glints before you like a mirror. It's time to hit pause and ask in the moment, what or whom are you trying to control? And why? What would happen if you just let the interpersonal dumpster fire before you burn? Just let it burn. Just let the people do their dance and you step back. It may make your heart race to hear these words, but Goddess Hekate has given you the fire to hold in stillness, in your observation, to witness the energy patterns and hold the keys to choose a powerful new pathway leading you to a new way of being. So if by now you suspect you are definitely a PH, Goddess Hekate has an 8-step recovery program just for you. She helps you remember to embody your inner strength. She holds space with fierceness, love, and compassion as you labor through behavior change. And all she asks is for you to pay the tuition of 8 consecutive days burning incense at her altar, sincerely asking for her help in navigating the discomfort of saying no, of identifying those times when you realize you are abandoning your body and yourself in conflict. And she's asking you to just listen with compassion, but allow people to solve their own problems. Maybe make some new boundaries for yourself. Take time to go within and figure out what you truly need. But Hekate does want discipline. She wants you to follow through on showing up for yourself, and she wants you to honor your energy field and your own true desires as you begin the process of recircuiting your energetic wiring. I, Mythic Mel, am a recovering PH sufferer, and I still take my daily PH tincture after 25 years of waking up to my dis-ease. Step 1, admit you are a pathological harmonizer, that you have been powerless over your conditioned instinct to pee a lot, to please, placate, and pry into. And now call upon your HP, your higher power, your Hekate power, your healing power to help you. Again, more about the pH Balance Clubhouse. Join her Pathological Harmonizer Clubhouse. Start with the 8-day challenge. Turn stress into chuckles. She has many, many, many ideas for making us laugh within the clubhouse. For example, she has the patented Transform Anxiety to Laughter Transformation Meter. You can pass your problems through Hecate's gaze X-ray machine and see the truth bones underneath of any situation. You can chart your progress with bathroom break reflection prompts. These are all my just silly ideas, but they are actually very useful. So the theme of each day for the 8-day challenge, you admit you're a pathological harmonizer. Stop peeing, pleasing, placating, prying, and start actually peeing. Drink a glass of water for every time you feel yourself wanting to go into pH mode. Count the impulses, guzzle up, give yourself grace. So remember, it's all just play. No one has to know what you're up to with this. There's also a day in the clubhouse called Decoupage Day. This is a day where you love on your inner child and you take actual photos of you as a child, you know, the time when you were looking so cute, so young, so vulnerable, so sweet. And you see the absurdity of how anyone could expect you to be a parent type of person in situations where you clearly were a child. And so you can summon those childhood scenes where pH first began and start to understand those moments and send love to the inner child. Send love to the you. It's still there in your heart. Anyway, that's what Hecate has helped me with, and she's helped me also ask, what if? What if the universe had the backs of all the people you're trying to save and placate? And what if you just allowed the chaos and stepped away to a new frequency? What are the lessons they might be learning, those people you're trying to save, that are theirs to learn? Hecate power does demand vigilance over your own actions. She does require discipline and allegiance to the highest truth, which is ultimately, you can control no one but yourself. And you deserve to treat yourself like a beloved, like your number one beloved best friend. And though Hecate's school can feel challenging, she's powerful beyond all measure. And ultimately, she leads you back to your true self, to freedom and self-compassion. Everybody else has their own road of Hecate to negotiate. It's none of your business. They are on their own journey and you're on yours. And Hecate's help for pathological harmonizers Clubhouse is open so that everybody can help each other resist the urge to please and instead replenish and shore up all that delicious life force energy for you to be able to then give with grace, with a sense of abundance, with a sense of your own cup overflowing. And so that's it. Thank you, Goddess Hekate, for helping me in the dark and for helping all those who call upon you. And thank you, everyone, for listening to Mythic Mel on Awakening Airwaves. I appreciate your being here. As always, please, if you enjoyed this episode, like and subscribe to Awakening Airwaves. We love our audience, and we are just trying to create ways and pathways and support to help you nourish and connect to your spirit and just feel better in your everyday lives. So I'll see you next time. Take care, stay safe, honor yourself, and lots of love. Bye for now.